The night sky above Earth was calm, filled with the quiet glow of stars. But inside the command center of the United Nations, silence was heavy. Men and women stared at the large screen that showed an alien vessel slowly descending into Earth's orbit. It was sleek, silver and smooth. No weapons visible. Its very shape seemed like a message of peace. The aliens had called themselves explorers. They had spoken of friendship, trade, and sharing knowledge. They told humans this was their first contact, a gift to a young species still trapped on a single planet. To the public, it was a miracle. News channels shouted about peace, children cheered in schools, leaders smiled. But inside closed rooms, not everyone trusted. The alien voice on the transmission was calm, deep, almost soothing. "We come in peace. We seek to understand. We offer friendship," they said in the room. A man whispered, "They are too perfect." The aliens walked among humans, tall, thin, with soft, glowing eyes, their movements elegant, their smiles endless. They praised human art, asked questions about science, listened. Carefully, they gave gifts, crystals that glowed with strange energy, tablets filled with star maps, tools that bent metal with a touch. But behind their glowing eyes, something cold was hidden. The aliens were not explorers, they were hunters. Their empire had stretched across dozens of systems, each world taken with the same method. Arrive with smiles, gain trust, then strike. When defenses were down, to them Earth was the same. They saw weak armies, old ships, divided nations, technology far behind. They laughed in silence, thinking, "This species is young, soft. They will fall quickly." Yet something bothered them. Their scans showed no great fleet, no powerful weapons, only scattered satellites and small ships, but the humans seemed too calm, too accepting. One alien captain whispered to another, "They do not act like prey." Still, the Empire trusted its method. Illusions had worked before. They would work again in a hidden corner of the solar system. Far beyond Mars, a silent giant floated in darkness, its surface black. No light escaped from its hull. Sensors watched. Weapons slept. It was a warship, massive, old, but alive. Humans called it the Sentinel, and it was the secret. No alien was meant to find. Years ago, long before first contact, fragments of alien wreckage had fallen near Saturn. Humans had studied it in secret. Nations had united quietly to build something in shadows. The Sentinel was the result. Built from alien steel, powered by engines not of Earth, armed with weapons beyond imagination. As the aliens smiled on Earth, the Sentinel listened. Its crew silent, its systems awake. Every word, every scan, every false smile was recorded. On Earth, leaders played their roles. One diplomat bowed before the aliens, saying, "We are honored by your wisdom. We are ready to learn." The aliens nodded, smiling wider in their private thoughts. They believed, "Foolish creatures, they are already ours." The humans let them believe. The night of the grand feast arrived. World leaders gathered in a great hall with the aliens. Music played, lights glowed, laughter filled the room. Cameras showed it all to the world. But deep under the ocean, in hidden bases, human soldiers, prepared, codes were whispered, signals sent into the black of space, and the Sentinel stirred. In orbit, alien scouts sent secret reports back to their fleet. "Earth is weak. No real defense," they wrote. Yet one alien commander frowned, watching a human child stare at him with fearless eyes. The boy whispered to his mother, "They are lying." For the first time, a thin crack formed in the alien illusion. The humans were not as blind as they seemed, and somewhere, in the silence of space, the Sentinel's engines began to hum. The illusion was about to break. The aliens had now spent weeks on Earth. They moved with grace through the great cities. They spoke in gentle voices. They smiled at every meeting. To the public, they seemed like friends. To leaders, they seemed like teachers. They showed humans strange devices, metal spheres that floated, rods that healed wounds, light that grew plants in seconds. People clapped, nations bowed, hope spread. But behind those glowing gifts, the aliens hid something else. They studied every human defense, They mapped bases, they tracked satellites, they tested signals. To them, Earth was an open book. They sent secret reports to their fleet, hidden beyond the moon. Earth is unarmed. The prey is soft. They cannot resist, the messages read. Still, there was a question that gnawed at them. Why were humans so calm? They had met weaker species before. Those creatures had begged, cried, or fought desperately. Humans did none of that. Humans laughed. Humans asked questions. Humans even joked. One alien whispered to another, "Do they not fear us?" During a gathering in Geneva, an alien leader stood on stage, his silver cloak shining, his words smooth. "We bring peace. We bring light. We bring a future together." The crowd clapped. Many cried with joy. But in the back of the hall, a general watched silently, his face hard, his earpiece quiet. Only one message whispered through it. Sentinel is listening, the aliens thought. They were watching humans, but in truth, humans were watching them. The Sentinel, silent and dark, drifted near the asteroid belt. Its sensors traced every alien transmission. Its crew sat in shadows, eyes on screens. Their captain spoke in a low voice. "They believe we are weak. Let them. It will break them later." Meanwhile, on Earth, scientists pretended to marvel. At alien tools, they clapped and smiled. But their laboratories already pulsed with secret energy. They tested crystals, copied circuits, mapped signals, what the aliens gave as gifts. Humans turned into weapons one night under the quiet ocean. A human submarine rose slowly. It released a drone into the water. The drone sent signals upward, and in the black sky, Sentinel blinked once in reply. The link was alive still. Danger grew. The aliens had begun to move pieces quietly. Hidden ships circled in the dark side of the moon. Weapons were prepared. Their plan was simple. Strike suddenly, destroy Earth's defenses, enslave the planet. Just as they had done to others, they laughed in their hidden chambers. By the next cycle, the humans will be ours. But inside the Sentinel, laughter never rose. Silence held. The humans there knew, and they waited. The trap of illusion was working. The aliens thought Earth trusted, but the truth was different. Every smile given to aliens was a mask. Every handshake was a delay. Every gift was a trap. In a small village far from the great cities, an old farmer looked at the night sky. He saw bright trails crossing. "They are watching us," he whispered. "But someone up there is watching them," his grandson asked. "Who?" The farmer only smiled. "Our guardians." The aliens were blind. They saw weakness, but missed the hidden strength. During a private council, one alien commander raised a warning. "Their silence is strange. They do not resist. They do not beg. Perhaps they hide something." Others laughed at him. "They are only humans. They cannot hide from us. They are too young." Yet the commander could not shake the feeling. He had seen human eyes. Eyes that did not look broken. Eyes that did not fear. Still, the Empire trusted its own history more than his doubt. Illusions had always worked. They would work again. They prepared their final step, deep in orbit. Alien cruisers armed their cannons. Fleets moved silently behind the moon. Scouts positioned near Mars. A storm was ready to fall and down on Earth. People celebrated with music and lights, unaware of what was above them. But in one place, far beyond their sight, the Sentinel's great engines rumbled once. Its black hull glowed faintly. Its crew looked at one another with quiet determination. The captain whispered, "When they strike, we strike harder." The illusion was almost complete. The aliens thought they held the knife. But the humans had built a sword in the shadows. Soon the galaxy would learn the truth. The sky above Earth darkened one morning. Strange lights flickered across the horizon. At first people thought it was a storm, but soon the truth became clear. Shadows moved across the stars. Alien cruisers broke orbit, their sleek hulls glowing with energy, their weapons primed, their voices silent. No more smiles, no more gentle words. From the hidden fleet behind the moon, signals flashed, orders were given, cannons aimed at Earth. This was no first contact, this was conquest in cities below. Panic spread, people looked up in terror. The same visitors who had spoken of peace now pointed weapons at their homes in the command center under the mountains. Alarms blared. Men and women rushed across screens. Leaders shouted, "They are attacking." Satellites were the first to fall. Beams of light cut through them like paper. Defenses collapsed in minutes. The alien fleet moved closer, confident, unstoppable. "Earth is weak," their commander declared. "Take it quickly." Their illusions had worked again, or so they thought. Human ships scrambled, old fighters, rusted frigates. They rose into the sky, but alien cannons shredded them. To the invaders, it was almost sport. Yet in the chaos, a signal pulsed through the black, faint, steady, silent. It reached far beyond the moon, through the dust of the asteroid belt, and in that place the Sentinel woke. Lights rippled across its dark hull. Silent engines roared to life. Its core hummed with a deep thrum. Weapons long hidden unlocked with a heavy echo. Inside the bridge, the crew sat calm, eyes hard, hands steady. The captain spoke in a voice that carried across the steel. "It begins back near Earth." The alien fleet pressed forward, destroying every defense in sight. Laughter filled their comms. They cannot resist. They never could. But one scout ship hidden at the edge of Mars picked up something strange. A massive signal. A shadow moving in the black. The scout reported quickly. "Commander, something is coming." The commander frowned. "Define." The scout's voice shook. "A warship, larger than any we have seen, heading this way." The commander laughed. "Impossible. They have no such craft." But then, from the darkness, the Sentinel arrived, its black hull absorbing starlight, its cannons glowing like suns. It moved with the weight of a giant awakening. The alien laughter fell silent. Their sensors screamed with alarms. Readings spiked beyond measure. The commander whispered, "What is this?" On Earth. Hope sparked in hidden bases. Soldiers looked at screens and whispered one name. Sentinel. The warship did not speak. It acted from its hull. Beams of pure energy cut across the void. The first alien cruiser exploded in silence, a flower of fire in space. The second followed, torn apart in seconds. The aliens shouted, "Defend, defend!" But their fleet was already breaking. The Sentinel turned slowly, its cannons firing in rhythm. Every shot precise, every strike devastating. Ships that had once seemed invincible now burned like paper in the wind. In the alien command ship, panic spread. Officers shouted, "This cannot be. How did they hide this?" But humans had hidden it for years in silence and shadows. They had built a weapon not for show but for survival. Inside the Sentinel, the captain whispered, "Let them see. Let the illusion break." The alien fleet tried to regroup. Dozens of ships aimed their cannons at the Sentinel. Light filled space. Beams crashed into the black hull. Explosions rippled across its surface. But when the smoke cleared, the Sentinel still stood. Its shields unbroken, its engines steady, and then it fired again. 5 ships gone in one strike. The rest scattered. Earth watched from below. The world that had seemed helpless now roared with strength. The invaders that had spoken of peace now ran in terror. The illusion was shattered. For the first time, the aliens felt fear. True fear. They had believed they controlled the story, but the humans had written a secret ending. And as the Sentinel burned across the sky, one truth echoed in every mind. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the hunter. Space was no longer silent. It burned with wreckage. Alien cruisers that once shone like silver blades now drifted broken, their pieces glowing in the dark. The Sentinel moved through them like a shadowed giant. Inside the alien command ship, fear spread like fire. Officers who once laughed now shouted in panic, "How can this be? They were weak. They had nothing." The commander slammed his fist against the console. "It is a trick. It must be a trick." But the screens told no lies. Their fleet was dying on Earth. The world held its breath. People who had feared slavery now cheered in the streets. Screens across every nation showed the Sentinel's dark shape, a ship so massive it looked carved from the night itself. Each time its cannons fired, hope grew. In the hidden human command center, leaders watched silently, their faces calm. One whispered, "They see it now. The illusion is broken." For years, humanity had played the role of weakness. Nations had hidden their unity. Scientists had buried their discoveries. The Sentinel had been their greatest secret, born from scraps of alien wreckage forged in the silence of space. It was never meant for glory. It was meant for survival. But now it stood as the answer to every alien lie. The alien commander ordered, "All ships focus fire, bring it down." Dozens of vessels circled the Sentinel. Beams of light cut through space. Explosions shook its hull, but the black ship did not break. Instead, its shields rippled like water, and when they cleared, the warship struck back. Missiles flew like burning stars, cannons roared, and alien ships were torn apart one after another. Panic spread. "Commander, our weapons fail, our numbers fall, we cannot—" The officer stopped as another explosion shook the command ship. In his chest, the commander felt something strange, something he had not felt in centuries. Fear, he whispered. They were never prey. The humans, for the first time, spoke. A transmission cut through the noise. A human voice filled the alien channels, calm, steady, powerful. "You saw what we wanted you to see. Weakness, fear, silence. But you never saw the truth. We studied you. We learned from you. And we built what you could not imagine." The aliens listened in silence, their illusions shattering with every word. The voice continued. "You thought you fooled us, but it was we who fooled you." On the bridge of the Sentinel, the captain stood tall, eyes fixed on the battlefield. Around him, his crew worked in silence, their hands steady, their breaths calm. They were not fighting for conquest. They were fighting for Earth. Another volley tore through alien ships, their formations broken, their discipline gone. Across the galaxy, in hidden channels. Other species watched. Messages spread quickly. The humans have a warship. The humans destroyed the Empire fleet. The humans are not weak. In the alien empire's heart, whispers grew. Doubt spread. What had seemed like another easy conquest now turned into a disaster that could not be hidden. The illusion that had carried them for centuries was broken. On Earth, children looked at the sky with pride. Soldiers clenched their fists. Families held one another. For the first time in history, humanity stood united under one truth. They were not small. They were not prey. They were something greater. Inside the alien command ship, the commander lowered his head. "We underestimated them, and now we pay the price." He knew his fleet was lost. He knew the Empire's mask had cracked. For the first time, the galaxy would fear humans, but deep inside the Sentinel, the crew did not smile. They knew this was only the beginning. Their secret was revealed. Their enemies would come again, stronger in greater numbers, but now, humanity had shown the first glimpse of what it could be, and the message had been sent. The illusion was gone. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. The battlefield was silent now. Broken ships drifted in the void. Glowing wreckage turned slowly under the light of distant stars. The once proud alien fleet had been reduced to ashes. The Sentinel moved among the ruins like a silent judge, its black hull unscarred, its cannons still glowing faintly. It did not chase the survivors. It only watched inside the alien command ship. Fear ruled. The commander's voice trembled as he gave orders. "Retreat, retreat. Pull back what remains." His officers obeyed quickly. Their illusions of power gone. For the first time in centuries, the Empire had been beaten, and not by a great galactic rival, but by a species they had called weak. On Earth, the world cheered. In every street, every city, people lifted their heads to the sky. Voices rose in one cry, "We are free." But in the human command center, leaders were calm, their eyes fixed on the screens. They knew this was not the end. It was only the beginning. The Sentinel opened a channel. Its voice filled the alien frequencies. Calm, sharp, final. "You came with smiles and lies. You thought us blind, you thought us prey. You struck with hidden blades and you paid the price." The words carried across every alien ship, even those far beyond Earth. The human voice continued, "Hear this now. Humanity will not kneel. Humanity will not be fooled again. What you saw today was only the beginning. We have strength, we have unity, and we will rise higher still." In the alien command ship, the crew listened in silence. Their commander lowered his head. He knew these words would spread through the empire like fire. Leave, the human voice said, cold and final. Take your broken ships and go. Tell your empire what you saw. Tell them the age of illusions is over. Tell them humanity is awake. The channel went silent. For a long moment, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. Then slowly the alien fleet turned, their ships limping away, retreating into the dark. No more threats, no more promises of peace, only silence. The Sentinel did not follow. It only watched, its dark hull glowing faintly, a warning carved into the stars. On Earth, the world united in a way it had never done before. Nations that had once fought now stood as one. The Sentinel was not just a warship, it was a symbol, proof that together humanity could face anything. Children grew up hearing its story, of how the aliens came with lies, of how the Sentinel rose from the shadows, of how Earth stood tall in the alien empire. Fear spread, stories ran through every world. The humans have a hidden warship. They destroyed an empire fleet. They cannot be fooled. What had once been a young species in the shadows was now a force no one could ignore. In the halls of power, alien rulers whispered, "If one ship can do this, what else are they hiding?" The illusion of control was gone, in the silence of the asteroid belt. The Sentinel drifted once more into shadow, its engines quiet, its hull dark, its crew waiting. The captain stood on the bridge, his eyes on the stars. He spoke softly. "They came to fool us, but we fooled them instead. They will never forget this day." His words hung in the air, heavy and true. The galaxy had learned something new, something terrifying. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the storm that shattered illusions. And in the silence of space, the Sentinel waited, a shadow in the dark, watching, guarding, ready. The first contact that had fooled the world was now remembered for something else. It was the day humanity's hidden warship shattered the illusion, and the galaxy would never see humans the same way again.